We're going to continue with creating a scatter plot here. So I'm going to do this first one, and then I want you to try and create the scatter plot for the next one. Now, here we have a history teacher asked her students how many hours of sleep they had the night before the test. The data below shows the number of hours the students slept and their score on the exam. Plot the data on the scatter plot. Okay, so I already have the scatter plot created here with hours slept along the bottom on the x-axis and the test scores on the side on the y-axis. So I'm going to start with 8 hours and a test score of 83. So I can go here and go up to about 83. Then I'm going to move on. I like to kind of X them out so I don't do any double. 7 to 86. 7 to 74. 8 to 88. Okay, and I kind of jumped ahead and did the rest on my own here. So my scatter plot ends up looking like this. Okay, and it looks like what kind of correlation? Think about it in your head. Is it going in a positive direction or a negative direction or no correlation? Okay, well, looking at my data, I noticed that it is going upwards. Okay, and I kind of drew in a line of best fit. Okay, maybe not my best line, but it's pretty darn close. Okay, it kind of goes around the data. So my line of best fit is telling me that the more hours of sleep they had before the test, that the test score was actually higher. So that makes it a positive correlation, okay, because as they both increase, as one increases, the other is increasing, right? Hours of sleep are more, they're going to have a higher test score, okay? Or a higher test score means they probably slept more. All right, I want you to pause the video and I want you to create, okay, whether on your note sheet, you might have this already on there for you, or you can create it on a notebook piece of paper. Okay, I want you to create the graph and I want you to practice plotting these points. All right, so hopefully you noticed that the water consumption was towards the bottom and the temperature was off on the y-axis on the side. So your data should look just like mine here, and hopefully you determine what kind of correlation it was. It is going in a positive direction, so this would have a positive correlation. If you haven't done so already, I want you to pause the video again and draw in a line of best fit. All right, so I'm going to put my line of best fit about here. Okay, so hopefully yours is similar. Okay, notice that my y-intercept is around 75. Okay, so somewhere between 70 and 80 would be ideal. Okay, and hopefully you did not start down at the bottom corner. The biggest mistake people make with line of best fit is they just want to go straight up like that. Okay, that is not an accurate line of best fit. Oops, gotta stop moving it. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so typically I would have you create a better line of best fit, but I want you to think about what would be a better line of best fit for this data. Okay, so notice we have data points here, here, and think about the mistake they made when they were doing their line of best fit. If I'm looking at it, they connected the first point and the last point. Okay, and that's not what a line of best fit. Sometimes, yes, that could be the most ideal, but they are forgetting about all the points that are above this line. So I would make my line of best fit maybe go more through this way. Again, I don't know if that's really the best line either, but I would have it going more upwards to try and gain some of these points a little closer to the line of best fit. All right, so here, Okay, I hope that you guys realize that this line is not a best line of fit. Okay, we could actually draw a lot better one, and it might actually go through quite a few points. Okay, I would maybe have my line, okay, go through here. Next, I want you to think about what type of correlation this graph shows. So does it have a positive? Does it have a negative trend or no trend? Okay, since the scatter plot points are all over the place, you should have said no correlation. Okay, what type of correlation does this graph show? Okay, looking at it from going from the left to the right. Okay, notice that the data points are trending downward, so you should have said negative correlation. Last one for correlation. Okay, notice that the data points are trending upwards when I'm looking from left to right of the screen. So we should have said positive for this one. All right, in a minute, I want you to pause your video and determine if this is an arithmetic sequence or not. Okay, so pause the video. Notice that every time we are adding 3. Okay, so this would be yes, it is an arithmetic sequence. All right, again, pause the video and see if you can determine if this is an arithmetic sequence or not. All right, you should have said no. Yes, it is increasing by 1, by 2, by 4, by 8, by 16, but is not increasing by the same number. Okay, last two line of best fit. Okay, I just want you to think about, okay, where would you put the line of best fit for this data? I would put it somewhere in here. I would actually maybe even move it going upwards somewhere in here probably. And last one, okay, think about where you would draw your line of best fit. I would have it going downwards because the data is trending negative.